On today's video, I head out to a local lake to do some bass fishing. The night before, some major storms had come through with a ton of lightning, heavy rain, and lots of wind, so I knew the fishing was probably going to be a little bit tougher than normal. Not to mention we were fishing during a major heat wave and temperatures were climbing up in the 90s, and they had been in the 90s for several days leading up to this trip. But I was able to kind of figure out a little bit of a bite, even though things were super tough, and I ended up having to use several different lures to actually put the fish in the boat. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the video. It's a good one. Let's get it. Alrighty, y'all, so we just put in right there, and we're gonna start right here at the ramp. Like I said, this is trolling motor only, so we're gonna just fish as we go back into this lake. But we're gonna start off with the good old buzzbait. We're gonna focus on some shade lines right here. I'm throwing this on the Lew's Super Duty reel. This is Super Duty LFS and a 6/8-to-1, 50-pound test, P-line. This is the no fade braid in black. And then this is the Lew's Mach 2 6-foot 10-inch medium heavy moderate. I love this rod for throwing a buzzbait around. It's absolutely perfect. So we're gonna throw this. We got a little bit of breeze blowing. It is perfect conditions for a buzzbait. So we're gonna throw this and just see if we can get one to come up and blow up on top water. Hopefully catch some big ones. You know, if they're not willing to come up on top, we might throw the chatterbait. We might throw, you know, the spinnerbait maybe a little bit. We might throw just some other type of moving bait. Might even throw the frog as we get around a little bit of wood as we work further back here. But I think we're going to be able to get some fish to come up on the buzzbait. And one thing about it is, like I said, I've not fished here much at all. I did come here early spring this year, had a really good day out here. But that was kind of that was like a offshore deep water deal. That was more of a deep water deal. I mean, I think water temps were like mid-40s that day I was here. So it's been quite a while since I've been here, but hopefully we can catch them. Like I said, we set our goal pretty high to try to see if we can get some big ones. Gonna put some pressure on ourselves to catch some big fish, and hopefully that's what we can do. But this is the dam right here. We're gonna work along this dam wall, and then I think it's a pocket up here on the left, but really good shade line right here. So maybe this buzzbait will pull up some fish that are kind of sitting in that shade, maybe feeding on shad or bluegill or some other type of bait fish. So let's see if we can make it happen and catch old Tank. This little corner right here ought to have one on it. I mean, to me, a buzzbait is one of the best baits for covering water. You know, it gets big fish to bite, sometimes lethargic fish, a fish that might not bite, you know, a popper or something else. They will come up and bite a buzzbait a lot of times. It just generates a lot of bites. So it's one of my favorite search baits. That old buzzbait with that old toad on there. We have really good watercolor today. Last time I was here, this place was literally chocolate milk. And today it's nice. I mean, has a decent little stain to it, but really good watercolor. Probably 1.5 feet of visibility, I would say, for sure. So really good watercolor. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a good one. On this riprap first fish. Oh, that is a good one. Dang. How about that for a first fish? As long as we can get him in the boat. Get around that trolling motor right there. This is a daggone 4-pounder. Oh my goodness. How about that for a first fish? Long and skinny, but I'm gonna tell you what, that is a dang good one right there. Right here on this riprap, smoked it. Woo! Woo. I will take that. I will take that. We're gonna take a picture of that old tank right there. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that didn't take long. He got into my thumb a little bit. We're gonna see what kind of weight we got here. First fish of the day. Thought it was a 4-pounder, but he's pretty skinny, so I don't think he's quite gonna make the 4-pound mark. Ooh, he is 3 pounds 15 ounces. How about that? 315. Actually, it's showing 4 pounds now, but we're gonna lock him in at 315. I'm gonna tell you what, I will take that all day long. All day, baby. A 315 first fish right here on this. That's why I'm telling y'all, if it is summertime or warm, don't hesitate to throw a doggone buzzbait. All right. Man, how about that? Woo. First daggone fish of the day was a good one. I mean, he came up and absolutely smoked it. He's sitting up here on this riprap, up on this rock. It's probably brim, shad, no telling, up there in that riprap, and he just came up and smoked this thing. Well, that was awesome. I mean, we hadn't been fishing long at all. Heck yeah. I mean, we're sitting in 13 foot of water, so you know it's deep water. That fish had deep water access, but he was just up on the edge of that riprap right there. All right, well, that's a good start. Let's get another one. All right, so little update. We've been fishing now for about an hour and a half. We caught that really nice one right off the bat, and now all of a sudden we just cannot get bit. So we're working our way back here to the back of the lake. We're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna see what we catch, and if we get bit back here, I'm throwing around the Texas rig, rage bug right now, but I might end up getting the drop shot out, going a little bit more finesse, maybe throwing the wacky rig around, because right now the more power fishing techniques just are not working, and sometimes that happens. We're fishing major cold front conditions. I mean, y'all can see high skies, no clouds. Makes for a tougher bite, but I really thought we were gonna smoke them right off the jump, but it could also be like a midday lull. But anyway, let's go ahead, let's keep working down, and let's see if we can catch a big one, because right now it's a little bit slow, but we'll get them. We'll figure them out. So at this point, it had been over 2 hours since I had gotten my last bite. I had fished hard, I had thrown a bunch of different baits, used a bunch of different techniques, and I just could not get bit. So I called my wife, told her that I just was struggling to get a bite. And while I was on the phone with her, I saw a couple fish offshore, so I picked up the glide bait and threw to them. I had never caught a fish on a glide bait before, so you're about to see my first one ever right now. Oh, dig it. Get it. Oh, he's not on the glide. He's not that big. There's 2 of them down there. Oh, that is cool. I got to stay away from these trebles today. Whew, got some big old trebles there. That is my first ever glide bait fish. I've never caught one on the glide bait before until today. And guess who I was on the phone with? That's a short, fat one right there, y'all. Man, out here struggling. All right, this is gonna be fish number 2. That is a 2-4. 2-4. Well, first glide fish ever, right there. Thank you, bud. It was 2 of them, and they got hot on that thing. That was cool. That was cool. Well, not exactly the way that I want to catch them, but I just saw them out here off this point, and I said, I'm going to pick up that glide and throw to them. And sure enough, got them to bite. That is cool. All right. Old glide bait fish. All right, y'all. Spot number 2. Y'all can tell here looks a lot different than where we were at previously. This is a ton of vegetation. The other place we were at had no vegetation. This is my style. We're going to be doing some frogging, buzz baiting, maybe some punching, but hopefully we catch them. We still have 14 pounds to catch. That is our goal. Hopefully making a move was the right thing to do, because that other place, well, let's face it, it was pretty rough. It won't hit no much. So hopefully this is the deal, and hopefully we smash them. But let's go ahead and get everything right. Let's get to it. We're going to start right here at the ramp, and we're going to work around in this big pocket and see if we can catch some giants. All right, y'all. We are starting right here. We're going to start off with the good old frog, and we're going to see if we can get some bass out of this grass the way I like to fish. This is the way I like to fish. I mean, I was hoping that other lake, I was really hoping that I was going to be able to smoke them on the buzzbait. I had high hopes, especially after I caught that first right at 4-pounder, a 315. You know, then I caught that other fish when I was talking to my wife on the glide bait. I was thinking maybe, you know, maybe that would be some kind of deal, but we're gonna see if we can get it done with the frog. Now, I will admit that here there are big fish, but getting that 14 pounds and another 3 is not gonna be easy. So we're gonna have to put our head down, because we don't have that long to fish. I only have maybe another hour and a half. You know, and if the fish are off, like they've just completely turned off and they're not biting, potentially like they were at the other spot, then we're gonna have a tough time ahead of us. But hopefully that's not the case. There we go. Well, there's the first one. Definitely not the one we're looking for, but that is a fish punching in that stuff. We got him out of there. I got this black blue swirl rage bug on here. I'm just up and down, up and down, up and down, just kind of putting it in there, just kind of bringing it up and down. Like I said, this is definitely typically a braid deal. Not typically something you want to do with fluoro or copolymer or mono or something like that, but you know, yeah, I just was not gonna strip good fluoro off. Hopefully we can get a big one to bite. I know the fish are all in it. I mean, like I said, I see them in there moving. There we go. There we go. That's a good one. There we go. Finally got one to eat the frog. Get in here. All right. There we go. That's a, what does he have sticking out of his mouth? He has something sharp, like a fish fin or something sticking out of his mouth. That's super weird. We gotta be careful not to get that in our finger. I felt it. Look at that right there. Can y'all see that? It's a pretty one. And we're going to be careful with him. Not trying to get stabbed by that. Finally got one to come up. What's this one go? Chill out, bud. This one's gonna go 2, 6. 2, 6. All right, so we're actually gonna grab him right here just to avoid getting that stuck in my finger. But nice. Yeah, when I went to lip him, I felt that hit my finger and I was like, what in the world is that? That was a sharp, looked like a broke off fish fin is what it looked like. Heck yeah. All right, finally got a bite on the frog. Finally got a bite on the frog. We fished all through this stuff all the way down, and that is the first one that came up and ate it. Oh my goodness. That was a crazy bite right there. Crazy blow up. I'm gonna tell you, I thought it might could be tough with these conditions, but man, it was tough. I mean, tough. We're gonna throw one more right here, but I don't know, like, just typically I can grind it out. And I mean, I was on some good bodies of water, and man, they just won't having it today. I mean, what did we end up with for weight? Let's see what we ended up with. Our best 3. We ended up with 8 pounds 9 ounces. I'll get this hood off right here, but 8 pounds 9 ounces is what we ended up with 3 fish. I mean, not terrible, but we didn't get a limit. You know, I definitely did lose one, probably 1.5 pounds a few minutes ago as I was coming down this side, but man, super tough day out on the water. And every day can't be good. I've had a lot of great days this spring, this winter, and today was a little bit of a grind and it was pretty tough. So, hey, I'm gonna learn from it. Next time I'm gonna try to catch them better. That's all you can do, is try to catch them better when you get on the water next time. So I really appreciate y'all watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you next time on Gunfish TV.